Well, it is time to fill in hole number 1 after the septic repair. First thing I'm going to do is put some gravel right on top of that green pipe so that if I ever have to dig down there again, I'll get to the gravel first and I'll know that there's a pipe underneath it.
Why are you gonna have extra dirt?
Displacement from the collar.
But isn't it to the right the bottom dirt and close to the holes the top dirt? Shouldn't the top dirt go back on top?
Yeah. So I did want that big gravel on top of the green pipe, got that accomplished. And then this is a little bit of a tricky thing, filling in these holes, because they're not really holes. As you can see, I had to dig that ramp to get down, digging deep enough with the John Deere 2210 with the front end loader. So instead of just being a same depth hole where I can fill clay in all the bottom and then topsoil on the top, this hole is at a gradient going down in the ground. So I need the clay to fill in the deepest part of the hole, but the shallowest part of the hole, I need some good topsoil at the top. So what I'm doing throughout this section of the video is trying to sort through that dirt pile in front of me. I know that at the bottom of that dirt pile will be the majority of topsoil. So you can see here I got a pretty good scoop of mostly clay. So I'm pouring that towards the lowest section of the hole so that the clay is going at the base. So I kind of had to examine from inside the cab of the tractor what the dirt looked like as I was scooping it, and then determine where I wanted to put it in the hole to start filling in. So here's another pretty good size scoop of mostly clay. I wanted that deeper than the top surface of the hole. You can see I'm inching into the hole a little bit deeper here with that clay down in the deeper section. Olive has really been enjoying this nice weather. She loves to be outside anytime we're outside, but she's kind of feeling her youth a little bit here, doing a lot of running around, and she definitely wants to be on camera. If I could get Olive to be a subscriber and viewer, she would watch our videos the entire day while we're away. She loves to watch work happening. It is really amazing with a subcompact tractor how much work you can do. I dug those 3 big holes to find the septic tank in a previous video. If you haven't seen that video yet, go ahead and give it a look. I'll put a link to it up above. But just a little 23 horsepower subcompact tractor dug the holes deep enough, in our case about 4 feet deep, to find the lid of the septic tank. And you can see here just what a huge advantage to have a subcompact like this to fill these holes back in. And those loader scoops, if I filled them all the way up, are a lot of dirt. But even if I only get, a half a scoop like this, just think how many shovel pulls that would be. I got blisters on my hand just doing minimal shoveling. I can only imagine if I had to shovel all that dirt. Here I decided to just kind of push from one side to get more of that dirt moved in without having to scoop it all, and the John Deere did a great job at that. It's actually fun to play in the dirt while I didn't want to have to do this project, dig up the septic tank and then refill the holes. It was nice because we have the right tools to make the work a little bit easier to go to work on this. Look at all that soot on the front arm of the loader from the exhaust that comes out there. It's all black on top of the paint. I just haven't washed it. I imagine that will keep it protected and keep it from rusting, although I rarely ever leave the tractor outside. I like to keep my equipment covered up, so it's either in the shed or in the garage or in a big building. I only leave it out if I'm in the middle of a project and it doesn't make sense to put it away, or if I'm not expecting any weather. So there you can see that sod that was on the bottom of the pile. That's what I originally scraped off of the ground, and I tried to keep it at the bottom there and then stack everything else on top of it, so that as I move dirt from the top of the pile, it would be the clay for the bottom of the hole. What I hadn't been thinking about was the grade down into the hole, and I would need topsoil at different times to fill that in. Now there is no bucket level indicator on my John Deere. Oh, look at this, Olive's checking out the dirt pile here. Sniff something. She's gonna move some dirt for me. There you can see some really good topsoil. The nice thing about our property, having been woods and a pasture field before the house was there, is that we have a lot of really good dirt on top of that clay base. So I was having some trouble here.
It doesn't want to float for some reason. It always wants to push down. I just want it to float.
On my John Deere 2210, when you push the joystick control all the way down, it kind of clicks into a position that is a float position. But for some reason, I don't know if it was the consistency of the dirt or the weight of the front end of the tractor, I'm not sure what was happening, but when I tried to do that, I was not floating the bucket as much as I would have liked. It was actually still pushing down, lifting those front wheels off the ground, and I really just wanted to float it. Now I actually got it to work better later on here, which makes me think it wasn't something wrong with the tractor, it's just how the bucket was reacting to the dirt at the time. So, you know, the dirt was loose, it was a little bit clingy, so I think just the friction of the dirt on the bottom of the bucket was actually creating enough pressure that as the tractor pushed into that, even though it was in float mode, the tractor was really pushing and then, you know, pushing off of that bucket. I enjoy this time-lapse section of getting that dirt back up off of the sod. It's nice to be able to scrape it right off of the ground that I didn't dig. So you can see that grass that was underneath there, totally unharmed other than being packed down a little bit. This was again a tricky part because this section of the yard may look level in the video. It's actually got a little bit of a downhill grade to it, from highest close to the camera to lowest as you work further towards the woods. So you can see I covered it all up, and then I'm packing it in to see if there's spots that'll compact a little bit more than other spots. Well, I did get the topsoil back to the surface. I got this area where I was all stacked up with dirt, Got it cleared back down to the grass, so that was good. But I'm not exactly tapered properly here. I've got a low spot right here. This was the deepest section of the hole that I had dug. And I probably needed a little bit more base clay underneath it before the topsoil because it's compacted in a little bit after driving over it. But I will add more topsoil on top to level that out when I bring topsoil in after I do all the rest of this, probably tomorrow. And then hopefully we can get this all seeded. And I might have some extra dirt, that big pile of clay. Hopefully that'll pack in around these other holes. So I'll start with that tomorrow, packing that clay in as much as I can around here. You can see a lot of our good topsoil was put around. We had this collar put on the septic tank lid so that we won't have to dig down that far again. So the next time we just have to dig down about 6 inches to get down to that lid, just under the sod. But I'm gonna need to fill this in with clay right here in front of us, and then get some more topsoil, since that was our good topsoil, get some more topsoil on top of all of this so we can get it all seeded and planted. So a couple videos ago we talked about getting that area all cleaned out where the old wood yard was. Jennifer wanted that seeded. Well, now we've got plenty of places that need some grass seed, that, and then all of this.